Hello friends, at the last lecture we see the presentation of the data, statistical data through diagrammatical presentation. Now in this lecture we see the presentation by using the graphs or called as a graphical representation of a statistical data. So here the we first see about the definition of graphical representation, then its merits, then some principles how to plot the graphs. Already we see the difference between the diagrams and graphs, especially the main difference of the diagrams and graph construction is diagrams are drawn on a plain paper, but the graphs we must drawn on a graph paper. So this is a important difference between the graphs and diagrams. Also, diagrams are used only for the comparison of the data, but graphs are used for mathematical analysis, statistical analysis, as well as comparison of the data and to show the normality of the data. So here we go one by one to see the definition and merits of the graphs, and then principles of the graph, and then we see the what type of the graphs we want to going to study in a graphical representation for a frequency distribution. So presenting statistical data by means of graph is called as a graphical representation. It is another way of analyzing numerical data. Graphs are used for study the mathematical relation between two variables. Graphs are enable us in studying both time series and frequency distribution. Following are the merits of using the graphs. The graphs is easily understood by everyone without any prior knowledge. It saves time. It allows to relate and compare the data for different time periods. It is used in statistics to determine the value of median and mode for different data, and if median and mode we can determine or locate from the graph, then we can find the value of the mean also by using the relation between mean, median and mode. Next merit is graphs are used to represent relationship between two variables. These are the general principles of graphical representation. First principle is suitable title. Make sure that the appropriate title is given to the graph which indicates the subject of the presentation. Measurement unit, mention the measurement unit in the graph. Proper scale, to represent the data in an accurate manner, choose a proper scale. Index also must be there in a graph. Index the appropriate color sets, lines, designs in the graph for better understanding. Data sources, include the source of information wherever it is necessary at the bottom of the graph. Keep it simple. Construct a graph in an easy way that everyone can understand. Choose the correct size, lettering, colors, etc. in such a way that the graph should be visual aid for presentation of information. So these are the important principles for constructing the graphs. Now in our study, we studied the types of the graphs. Especially we construct the graph against to the frequency distribution. Continuous frequency distribution, that is grouped frequency distribution. That means here we have the class intervals and their corresponding frequencies. So these are the four types of the frequency distribution graphs: histogram, frequency polygon, frequency curve, and ogive curves. So one by one we see here the how we construct these different graphs and some examples based on that construction. So first we see here the histogram. A histogram represents the frequency distribution of a continuous variable whose areas are proportional to the corresponding frequency. Histogram is a series of adjacent rectangles. The meaning is that in a bar diagram we draw a rectangle, but there is a gap between each rectangle. But in case of the histogram, there is no gap between the rectangle. We construct the rectangles which are the series of adjacent rectangles. That means there is no gap between the rectangles. For constructing such rectangles, next point is plot interval, that is class interval on x-axis. That means the width of that rectangle is nothing but the width of a class interval. So by taking the width of rectangle as a class width and plot frequencies on a y-axis, that means the height of that rectangle must be a frequency. If the classes of equal width, then there is no necessary to adjust the data. But if in some cases classes are of unequal width, then plot frequency density on y-axis instead of frequencies. So here remember that if the class width of all class intervals are equal, then there is no adjustment, no necessary to adjustment. But if the width of classes are unequal, then we want to prepare a column of frequency density. That means instead of frequency on y-axis, we want to plot here frequency density. And before to finding the frequency distribution, we want to prepare, that means we want to prepare a column of frequency density. And the formula is frequency density is equal to class frequency divided by class width. Class frequency divided by class width. The difference is that there is no gap between the bars. The histogram is used to check the normal distributions of continuous data and have only one continuous variable. Also, histogram is used to determine the value of mode. Now we see here the example how to construct the histogram. So we know that to construct the histogram, we plot class intervals or class limit on x-axis and corresponding frequencies or frequency density on a y-axis. So first see carefully the width of the each class. So here in this example, the width of class interval is the same, that is 200, and corresponding frequencies are given. So there is no need to adjust this data. We plot frequency class intervals on x-axis and frequencies on the y-axis. So here note that we start the x-axis value at 100. So our origin becomes as a 0, 100, 0. Our original coordinate is 100, 0. So 100 is our starting point. So here is at origin is 100. Then take the proper scale. Mark here the value 300, then 500, then 700, then 900, 1100 and 1300. So don't write like this one 100 to this graph I paste here by using the MS Excel. But if you construct the graph manually, so write here the 100 value at original, then 300 by taking the proper scale, then 500 and so on. And construct the rectangle by taking the class width is a width of rectangle and its height is a frequency, that is 6. So see the value on the y-axis, it is 6, and construct the first rectangle. Same manner we can draw the second rectangle by taking the width as 300 to 500 and its height is 16. And repeat this procedure up to the last class interval. So this the presentation of this such a type of the graphical is called as a histogram. Second example we see about the unequal class intervals. So this is again example. We have given the age group and populations. Here frequency density are not given. We want to prepare here the column of frequency density. So we have given the data of age group and population only. So here see the class intervals carefully. For first class interval is 0 to 5 and its width is 5. 5 to 20 class width is 15. Class width means upper limit minus lower limit. Second 20 to 30 for this class width is 10. 30 to 40 again 10. 40 to 60 class width is a 20, and 60 to 100, here the class width is a 40. That means we have given the example of the unequal class width. So for such an example, we want to prepare a column of frequency density. So frequency density we can compute by using the formula frequency of that class divided by class width. So here 500 divided by the width of class is 5, so 500 divided by 5 is equal to 100. This column we want to prepare. Before going to construct the histogram, we want to prepare a column of frequency density. Similarly, here 2100 is a frequency and its class width is 15, so divide by 15 to this frequency, we get the value 140. 20 to 30, here class width is 10, and we divide this frequency by 10, we get 220, and repeat this up to the last class interval. And plot this frequency density on y-axis. Instead of frequency, we want to plot frequency density on y-axis and class intervals on a x-axis. So take the proper scale on x-axis and construct the rectangle such that first is 0 to 5, its height is 100, so against to the 100 erect or construct the first rectangle like this one. Second class interval is 5 to 20. So from 5 to 20, that means 3 times width than the first class. Here again this graph I plot here by using the MS Excel, so there is no provision to adjust the frequencies. So remember that if you draw the graph on a graph paper, then it must be taken as a class width for the next rectangle as a 3 times than the first class interval, then 5 to 20, and erect or draw a next rectangle against the 140 height. Similarly 20 to 30, take this proper scale for the next rectangle, width of the next rectangle, and construct the next rectangle by taking the height as 220, and repeat this procedure up to the last class. And such a presentation is called as a histogram. Now next we see the frequency polygon and frequency curve. So frequency polygon we can draw. Polygon means many sided figure. Polygon means many sided figure. And polygon we can draw by using the histogram and without using histogram. It is very easy to construction polygon. So frequency polygon is a graph constructed by using lines to join the midpoints of each interval. The heights of the points represent the frequencies. A frequency polygon can be created from the histogram or by calculating the midpoints from the frequency distribution table. The midpoints of a beam is calculated mean of the upper and lower boundary values. Here we want to draw a polygon. For this we can if the histogram is there, then there is no necessary to prepare a column of midpoints. But if histogram is not you draw first, then midpoint column this must be prepared in a observation table. So here steps to draw the frequency polygon. First is without using histogram. So without using histogram, following are the steps for construction. First one is mark the class intervals for each class on the horizontal axis. We will plot the frequency on the vertical axis as same as we see in the drawing the histogram. Calculate the class mark, that means midpoint of each class interval to prepare a column of class mark, and class mark is equal to upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. So here without histogram we want to prepare a column of midpoint, that is a class mark. Mark all the class marks on the horizontal axis. It is also known as mid value of every class. एक्स ॲक्सिस वर जे तुम्ही लिमिट्स घेतलेले आहेत, क्लास इंटरवल घेतलेले आहेत, त्या प्रत्येक क्लास इंटरवलचा मिड पॉइंट मार्क करा. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज करस्पॉन्डिंग टू ईच क्लास मार्क प्लॉट द फ्रिक्वेन्सी एज गिवन टू यू. वाय ॲक्सिस वर वी सी द फ्रिक्वेन्सीज अँड mark the points such that by taking them by saying here look the value of the midpoint on the x-axis and height of the frequency as frequency its corresponding point on a coordinate, mark this point. And for all the midpoint of the classes and their corresponding frequency, mark all the points on a graph paper and join these points by a straight line. Join all the plotted points by using line segment, that means by a straight line. The curve obtained will be kicked, that means many sided figures here we get, and this resulting curve is called as a frequency polygon. So this is an example of the frequency polygon, nature of the frequency polygon without histogram and with histogram. So without histogram, we want to plot the midpoint on the x-axis and mark the point on the graph paper corresponding to the midpoint and its frequency, and join these midpoints by a line segment. But if you want to draw a frequency polygon by using the histogram, then same procedure, but here we mark the midpoint at the top of the each rectangle, and these midpoints we join by a straight line and extend this graph up to the x-axis for the previous midpoint and then next midpoint of the class. So this is the construction of the frequency polygon. Next graphical presentation is frequency curve. The difference is only that instead of joining this point by a line segment, we can join this point by a smooth curve. This is only the difference between frequency polygon and frequency curve. Polygon means many sided figure, but frequency curve, that means the same construction of the frequency polygon, but join these points, plotted points, instead of straight line, join the by smooth curve. That presentation is called as a frequency curve. Next curve is ogive curve. This is again important because ogive curves we plot corresponding to the cumulative frequency curve. Instead of the frequency, we here take as a cumulative frequencies. So cumulative frequency curve is called as a ogive curve. A curve that represents the cumulative frequency distribution of a grouped data on a graph is called as a cumulative frequency curve or an ogive curve. Cumulative frequency अगेन्स्ट तुम्ही ज्या वेळेला कर्व काढता त्यालाच क्युम्युलेटिव्ह फ्रिक्वेन्सी कर्व म्हटलं जातं किंवा ओगिव्ह कर्व्स म्हटलं जातं. याच्या अगोदरच्या तिन्ही ग्राफिकल प्रेझेंटेशनमध्ये आपण फ्रिक्वेन्सीज घेतलेल्या आहेत, मात्र या ठिकाणी ओगिव्ह कर्व्स काढताना आपण फ्रिक्वेन्सीच्या ऐवजी क्युम्युलेटिव्ह फ्रिक्वेन्सी ह्या वाय ॲक्सिसवर घेणार आहोत. आणि आपल्याला माहीत आहे की क्युम्युलेटिव्ह फ्रिक्वेन्सी या दोन प्रकारचे असतात, एक लेस दॅन क्युम्युलेटिव्ह फ्रिक्वेन्सी आणि ग्रेटर दॅन क्युम्युलेटिव्ह फ्रिक्वेन्सी. द मीनिंग, द important point is that if there are the two types of the cumulative frequency, that means we want to draw two types of ogives. दोन प्रकारच्या क्युम्युलेटिव्ह फ्रिक्वेन्सी आहे, तर याचाच अर्थ आपल्याला दोन प्रकारचे ओगिव्ह कर्व्स हे काढता येतील. एक म्हणजे लेस दॅन क्युम्युलेटिव्ह फ्रिक्वेन्सी घेऊन आणि ग्रेटर दॅन क्युम्युलेटिव्ह फ्रिक्वेन्सी घेऊन. आणि म्हणून या ठिकाणी हियर देर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ द क्युम्युलेटिव्ह फ्रिक्वेन्सी कर्व्स, less than type ogive curves and greater than type ogive curves. So we see one by one the construction of the ogive curves. So here less than ogive curves, we use the upper limit of the classes and less than cumulative frequency to plot the curve. Less than ogive curve करताना लक्षात घ्या x axis वर आपण upper limit घेणार आहोत, value of the upper limit, आणि y axis वर less than cumulative frequencies. So following are the steps in the graph. Put the upper limit on the x-axis, cumulative frequency on the y-axis, plot the points xy, that means mark that points corresponding to the xy, but here x means upper limit of a class and y means cumulative frequencies, that means less than cumulative frequency, and its corresponding point we mark on a graph paper. Join these points, that is obtain all these points we can join by a smooth freehand curve. It look like a letter S. Note that curve start at the lower limit of first class. पहिल्या क्लासच्या लोअर लिमिट पासून तो कर्व हा सुरू करा. तो जो कर्व आपल्याला मिळतो त्यालाच लेस दॅन ओगिव्ह कर्व्स असं म्हटलं जातं. इथं दोन महत्त्वाच्या गोष्टी लक्षात ठेवा. एक म्हणजे लेस दॅन ओगिव्ह कर्व्स काढताना एक्स ॲक्सिसवर अप्पर लिमिट घ्या आणि वाय ॲक्सिसवर लेस दॅन क्युम्युलेटिव्ह फ्रिक्वेन्सी घ्या. हा सर्वात महत्त्वाचा पॉईंट आहे. पुढचा जो ग्राफ आपल्याला पाहायचा आहे मोर दॅन किंवा ग्रेटर दॅन ओगिव्ह कर्व, त्याचं कन्स्ट्रक्शन कशा पद्धतीने आहे पहा. फर्स्ट स्टेप, in the graph put the lower limit on the x-axis. Instead of now here greater than ogive curves, plot the lower limit on the x-axis and mark the cumulative frequency, that means greater than cumulative frequency on the y-axis. इथं हा ग्राफ काढताना एक्स ॲक्सिसवर लोअर लिमिटची व्हॅल्यू पहा आणि वाय ॲक्सिसवर ग्रेटर दॅन क्युम्युलेटिव्ह फ्रिक्वेन्सीची व्हॅल्यू पहा आणि तो जो काय एक्स वाय पॉईंट येईल तो पॉईंट मार्क करा. Plot the points xy using lower limit and corresponding greater than cumulative frequency y. Again join these points by smooth freehand curve and but here note that curve ends at the upper limit of the last class. So after plotting the drawing the less than and greater than ogive curve, we get the nature of the curve is like this one. Here see the red line curve, this red color curve is a less than ogive curves. That means this is nature, just nature, how it look like a less than ogive curves and greater than ogive curves. So here red color curve is a of the less than ogive curves and green color curve is a greater than ogive curves. So after evaluating the example, some example, we see how to draw less than ogive curves and greater than ogive curves. So these are exercise for you. These two examples are based on the histogram and ogive curves. Histogram ही काढा आणि त्याचा ogive curve ही काढा. Remember that there are two important things is that to draw a histogram, first see the class interval carefully. If there is no equal class width, there is no need to adjust the data. Directly take the class interval on x-axis and corresponding frequencies on a y-axis and draw a rectangles. And for ogive curves, if there is a unequal class width, not need to adjust the data for drawing the ogive curves. Directly prepare a column of the cumulative frequencies. Prepare a column of cumulative frequency. If you want to draw the two ogives, prepare two columns of the cumulative frequency. One is less than ogive curves and second one is a greater than less than cumulative frequency and greater than cumulative frequency, and then draw corresponding ogives. So and the third example is for the bar diagram and pie diagram. So this is for your exercise. Draw yourself the histogram, ogive curves for these three examples. So this is about the presentation of the data. That is, here we see here the how to present the data by diagrammatical and graphical presentation. So in diagrammatical we see the bar diagram and pie diagram, and in a graphical presentation we see here histogram, frequency polygon, frequency curve and ogive curves. So evaluate some examples, see the construction of all these curves and diagrams and graphs carefully and evaluate some examples. Okay, thank you.